Hey, Malik, the guy who might be playing quarterback for Wisconsin on Saturday, I think fair to say might have a little extra fire going in considering he was starting quarterback here last year. How are you approaching this matchup knowing that Billy Edwards could be the quarterback you're
Just
facing? It.
just like any other matchup, really. We take every game with equal levels of importance, so we're going to prepare the same way we prepare for the past three teams we face, and we're going to keep carrying that to the rest of the season.
Yeah, Malik, 3 weeks into the season now, it seems like you're improving each game. How has the game come to you more now? Has it slowed down a little, or do you feel more comfortable in the pocket? Uh, how do you look at it yourself?
Yeah, Coach Pep has done a great job of understanding. He's dealt with a lot of first-time quarterbacks. Him having Andrew Luck and Justin Herbert, so guys that with the first time in new places, and just being able to understand that it's going to take some time. There's going to be some growing pains and a learning curve, but he's done an amazing job. As far as helping me continue to improve.
Hey Malik, obviously both you and Billy have had different paths, but we're both the starting quarterback here at Maryland. How do you think this game offers you an opportunity to prove yourself as a starting quarterback at this program?
I think it's, like I said, the same as every other game. We're just going to go in there and prepare the same way that we do, no matter who we're playing against, and continue to prove ourselves as a program.
Right. And then obviously this is going to be your first road game in college, pretty loud environment at Wisconsin. Ahead of this game, what would you say has been the loudest environment you've played in?
That's a good one. Probably our stadium. Really, it's my first time playing in college. The high school games didn't really get super loud or anything like that. So playing up here, when the crowd's going, it's exciting.
Malik, what have you been able to see and hear about this Wisconsin defense? Badgers had a rough game against Alabama, but they were lights out the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're a really sound defense. They're going to stick to their rules and be who they are. That's an advantage for them, and then that's something we can also take advantage of just because we might get an idea of what they're presenting, but they're a really sound defense.
The cliche is on the road in the Big Ten, you got to be able to run the ball. How encouraging is it for you guys to have the outing that you had last Saturday against Towson and hope there's carryover this Saturday?
Yeah, we talk a lot about building momentum as a program from week to week, just having different things that we focus on, and carrying that momentum into this week would be huge.
Hi, Malik. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So we talked about noise, and so are you guys preparing you for the noise in that stadium while you're on offense? You've had it sweet here. They've probably been a little quiet. So I know you guys have the clap going on. Are you guys doing some different things, making it look different so that you can balance that noise that's going to be happening when you guys are on offense?
Yeah, it's something that we'll pay attention to, but it's not like a huge thing. Just because you can't focus too much on one thing, you'll start to forget the other things that matter in the scheme of the game. So we'll have a plan for it when we go into there, and we'll execute our plan.
All right, are you guys working on some signals?
Yeah, doing just a little bit of everything.
Got it. Thank you.
Hey, Malik, I wanted to ask you kind of about locks. You said that, the program's in like a win-now mode, shifting from kind of a developmental role. Just for a freshman, you coming in, how do you feel about that? And have you noticed that, that there's been a lot of emphasis on helping out the freshmen, getting them going?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how college football is as a whole now. It's more of like what product can you put on the field. It's less about, having guys in your program for 2 to 3 years and allowing them to develop and create their own roles. It's kind of like we just have to find the best product that we can put on the field. And I think that's through across all of college football, and I think we're doing a pretty good job at doing that.
Hey, Malik. You've been hearing probably all week about how big of an opponent this is, the environment, and I just want to ask you as a competitor, how excited are you to be in this kind of environment, to be against a big opponent like this in a game that for the early part of the year is probably the biggest game you guys played so far?
For me, I just kind of like to minimize the moment. So, no matter what the situation is or what stage we're playing on, at the end of the day, it's 1st and 10. And we've done it 1,000 times. We'll do it 1,000 more. Whether I'm just throwing a slant, I've done it so many times in my life to where that no matter what that stage is, the moment, it's not bigger than me.
What have some of the older guys told you about Big Ten play? What have they told you about playing at Camp Randall Stadium?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, which we all expect going into it. So I'm just excited to see how we as a team, battle that, because we're going to face some adversity throughout it. That's just a part of the game, but seeing how we come back from it.
Sidney, how much chatter, if there at all, has been among the defensive guys in potentially facing the guy who played quarterback for Maryland last season?
Really not at all. Like, we kind of, Coach Monachino says, nameless, faceless objects. We kind of treat everybody with the same accordance, and especially for us, we such a young team that a lot of us weren't even on the team when he was here last year. So I really don't have I'm indifferent when it comes to Billy.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm
How
good.
are you preparing yourself and the group collectively, since it's such a young bunch, to go into this environment?
For sure. So I've been in Madison. Fortunately, I got a chance to go there when I was getting recruited. So definitely is a great environment. I think for us it's more excitement than it is nervousness. Finally get a chance to have an away game. Kind of be rooted against. It kind of can fuel a defense, especially. So we just visualizing ourselves playing there. And yeah, that's the main aspect of what we're doing.
Hey, Sidney. Last week's here I'd mentioned how the two of you kind of continuously are pushing each other to a
Yeah.
pretty high standard. In your own words, can you kind of just describe the bond that you guys have and kind of that relationship?
For sure. I mean, we definitely compete healthily, though. Of course, two young edge rushers, same class. Both good at rushing a quarterback. We play the run, obviously, too. Don't forget that. But it's just healthy competition. I really like it. We both Muslims, so I'm glad to be able to look over the other edge and see that he's there. It just makes me work harder. And if we both race in there, and as long as one of us gets there, the job gets done. So
What do you mean by healthy competition? Is that like in practice, in games? What do you mean by that?
that's really everything. Like I said, we be gaming, Warzone, like really anything ever. Connect Four, we compete, and it's like I said, it's healthy. Like we smile, we laugh, but at the end of the day, we both want to win. And when you have two winner mindsets, then the outcome's always going to be good.
Hey, Sidney. There's been a lot of conversation about you and Zaire and the guys on the edge, but can you just take a minute to talk about the guys on the inside,
Yeah.
people like Dylan, Cam, Ian, and how impactful they've been for you?
100%. Those unsung heroes, D tackles, they don't get a lot of love sometimes, but we work well together. They make my job so much easier, so I'm forever grateful for them. You know what I'm saying? They make the ball bounce to the outside, give me some plays, vice versa. So, and the guys on the inside are older a little bit too, so they kind of can make me feel a lot more at ease when I'm out there with them because they know what's going on. They have a lot more experience, so I'm forever grateful for those guys.
Sidney, the defensive effort and execution you guys had this past Saturday, the fumble recovery, the pick six, the third down performance, how encouraging was it for you guys to get that performance going into Big Ten play?
Yeah. So we know as a defense that turnovers, the ball is the most important thing in football. So that means that getting turnovers on defense is one of the most important things. And then capitalizing on those turnovers, trying to provide our offense with good field positioning so we can succeed as a whole unit. And then can you ask the question again? I think there's another piece.
How encouraging is it to go into league play, to head to Madison after, off the heels of such a performance for
sure.
the first team?
And then, just being able to prove that we can force turnovers just gives us confidence because, there are a lot of defense that can get stops, but if you can get stops and turnovers, it just makes the whole team work even better.
And a lot of focus on one of the quarterbacks there, but he's been hurt. The other guy's completing 73% of his passes. What have you seen of Danny, the other guy?
Like I said, nameless, faceless objects, I really don't even know his name, but I do wish the best to him. We just going to get after him like we would anything else. It's like, a dog don't know your name when it's chasing you, so,
They do.
Sidney, do you view this game as a barometer for where this team is?
Nah, I really don't because we're not really going in there to prove anything to anybody. We've been playing together for a minute. We kind of understand who we are. We're a championship level team, and we already know and understand that. So this going against somebody else doesn't affect that whatsoever because no outside factors affect our play, and it's really us versus us at the end of the day.
Hey, Sidney, I know just Locks, he's talked about how the program's in like a win now mode and the freshmen, they're expected to contribute right away. Just from your perspective, how have you seen that kind of balance of there's pressure on you to contribute, but also kind of growing, coming into College Park and finding your footing a little bit?
For sure. I mean, you know, maybe when I first got here, maybe it kind of felt like a little bit of pressure. But, I mean, at this point, I'm just as experienced as a lot of other people. I played 3 games, got 3 games under my belt. I mean, I've been playing football since I was 7. So, you know, it ain't like the sport changed. It's just a different opponent. And like I said, the opponent don't matter. So, really, there's no pressure. And even if there was, it's just going to build a diamond.
Hey, Rahtrel, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
I don't believe that you've blocked against a Power 4 opponent in your collegiate career yet. So just kind of what excites you about this opportunity against Wisconsin?
Just seeing actually where I stand. You know, I've been training for months on end, going against the best edge rushers that we possibly have. I can't wait to, you know, see where I'm at.
Rahtrel, offensive line play, it's you know, it's something that's slow roasted, like in a crock pot as opposed to microwaved. How have things come together the first 3 weeks for you guys for you to be in the best spot entering Big Ten play?
It takes time. It just takes a lot of time and effort, a lot of off the field hours, you know, spending time in the film room, spending extra time on the field, making sure we have our techniques down packed, studying our opponents, studying what we got to do, what our assignments are, our communications, and et cetera.
What have some of the veterans told you about going on the road in the Big Ten, especially a place like Camp Randall?
Just to block out external noises, you know. There's a lot of crowd noises out there. We just got to focus on, you know, what play is ahead of us right now. And then once that play is over, move on to the next play. Make sure we, you know, execute that next play with 100% effort.
Hi, how you doing today? How are you? You good? You kind of addressed my question a little bit in preparation, and Malik spoke highly of how you guys prepared all summer for this moment right here. You guys haven't had any sacks, but who stands out in that room to lead for you guys?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would have to say Isaiah Wright. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a guy that's been here longer than I have, and he's a guy that just, you know, even though when stuff is not looking right, he leads us in the right direction, leads us through the cloud, like to the foggy areas. So whenever we have like problems or stuff like that, and he can sense it, he takes his time to like make sure we all on the same page and helps us lead us to where we need to be.
Rahtrel, Coach talked a lot about physicality as you get ready for Wisconsin. Has anything changed in you all's prep for a team that's going to be really physical on the line?
We prepare the same way we did for our other opponents, the same way, same mental toughness, same physical attributes. Like, we still preparing the same way.
And then just how exciting is it, man, to, you know, take on your first road game in Wisconsin?
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Hey, man, I just wanted to ask, how surprising is it, like, you know, you have a 19-year-old back there as a quarterback, but just to kind of see him, the poise he's shown through these first couple of weeks, did that even just in camp and things, as you kind of got to know Malik and play in front of him, did that really surprise you at all, just having a freshman come in and be able to start and really respond to mistakes well, at least it seemed, through these first couple games?
At first, yeah, it was surprising that we're going to have such a young quarterback, but seeing how he's preparing himself and seeing how he's been playing, I'm not really surprised at how he adapted himself into this position.
Rahtrel, Mike has talked about this team challenging some of the top-tier teams in the Big Ten. Do you feel like this team is closer to that?
Can you repeat that question?
Mike has talked about being able to challenge some of the top-tier teams in the Big Ten. Do you feel like this current team is close to doing that?
100%.
What gives you that confidence?
Just the amount of time we put, like, during the offseason, the amount of, like, time we put in with each other, just, like, getting to know each other, staying after hours, working with each other, and just how we've been working hard during this offseason.
He also talked about how this game against Wisconsin is a measuring stick for you guys. Do you view it as that? And if so, how important is this game then?
I don't see it as a measuring game, but I do see it as an important game for us.
How so?
Very so.
Rahtrel, you guys rushed for a season-high 152 yards this past Saturday, 98 in the first half. What do you feel went well, the seeds to that success, and how can that be moved on to this Saturday in a tougher environment?
Saying, like, the front line executed their blocking assignments, staying sound, staying heavy on double teams, staying all on the same page. The communication was great up front, and our quarterback making sure we are all on the same page. That's what led to having